Today we are going over the top 10 tips and lessons learned from other newbies in the NFT community. So get your notes app out because there's going to be plenty of gems that you're not going to want to miss.
In the last 5 months, 500,000 people have downloaded this show, NFTs for Newbies, helped us rank globally, and most importantly, helped us understand what they are learning in their NFT journey. So whether you are a seasoned NFTer or you are just like us and brand new to this space, you're going to learn something in today's episode because we polled our community and asked, what are the top things you wish you would have known before starting this journey? And we had a lot of responses, Rich. Quite a few.
I know this and I can't wait. Got the rhymes are right and tight.
Let's
and
go.
They're ready.
So I made the mistake of looking up the term newbie. I was like, what does newbie mean? And it says it's an inexperienced newcomer to a particular activity. And, it's not the most flattering term in the world, but it's exactly who I feel like I am. Inexperienced newcomer, this world of NFTs. 6 months ago, Rich and I probably couldn't even had an intelligent conversation about blockchain or NFTs or anything. So this journey has been crazy for us too. We've learned a lot. And also, I think, learned about how much we don't know. Somebody told me earlier, Rich, they said, do you ever run out of things to talk about with NFTs? And I'm like, I feel like I'm barely scratching the surface of what all of this stuff even means.
Yeah. You're not a newbie to twerking, and we're going to get started with number 10, and that is stop acting funny with your monies. All right. So basically, love what Gary Vee said. This is from Henny1216 in our Discord community. You want to be part of it? Check in the show notes or the link in the description, and you can join. We are very kind in our community. But Henny 2016 writes, love what Gary Vee said, which was don't play with money you can't afford to lose. Allie over on Twitter says, don't invest more than you could afford to lose. And then 8ADP OMG said, fight the FOMO. So look, this one is pretty cut and dry. If you have to pause and ask yourself in the middle of a transaction, or if you are in the middle of your bank things spinning and transferring money and making sure the transaction get through, and you are going to shit your pants because you are not entirely confident that this is a good investment, then it's not a good investment. You shouldn't feel that. Like, it's exciting, but as time has gone on, I don't know about you, Heather, like, it's less stressful because I know exactly what I want to do, how I want to do it, what I could afford to lose. And it's a little bit better than it was in the beginning. And that's what
and I think there's some dissonance too between spending more than we think we can afford and what we are doing, because we don't really understand how much money ETH is and how much these different transactions are like, oh, it's point this and point that. And we're like, what does that mean in dollars? And so especially for a newbie, there's dissonance there. This goes to number 9. Don't click the trick. Don't click the trick. Why would you click the trick? What do we mean by this? At Euro from Bay Ape says, do your research and never click any unofficial links. Now, how you know if a link is official or not, that means you got to do a little bit of research. Don't be trusting everybody. It's the Wild West up on Twitter, up on Discord, up everywhere. If you don't know the person, don't click the link. I mean, I feel like I'm telling my kids not to take candy from a stranger, but we're still struggling with this as an adult.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm suspicious of any link I get ever. I mean,
if I send you a link, are you suspicious?
So,
you should
yes. Be. All right. Number 8, forget, don't regret. Mad Bash says, be kind to yourself and kind to others. Don't be hard on yourself for making a bad move. Learn, accept, then do your best to move on. Have a short memory.
Made a bad move?
Who gives a shit? What do you mean? Have I made bad moves? Yeah, of course.
Everybody has. Everybody
Plenty.
has.
We all have. And it's not just limited to the NFT world, right? Like, it's like life. So if you thought this was going to be the next, blue chip NFT and it does nothing, or it tanks, or it's a rug pull or whatever, if you listen, if you weren't funny with your monies, it's not going to hurt you that bad. And number 2, you're likely going to learn. So just don't sweat it. Have a short memory and move on. If you need to take a break, take a break. If you feel like you need to get right back in the game after taking an L, then you could do that too. But just be smart and be safe.
Okay, I need you to lay a beat for this next one. Lay a beat.
Okay.
Sound like a heartbeat after you ate Taco Bell. When you get involved, there's less to resolve. Oh, what? What does this mean? At Hov53 over on Discord says, get immersed in the space and learn before you buy. Add value to a project by getting involved in the community. I feel like this is something that people say over and over and over again, but there's a reason for it. We also have at MoneyCZwood7 on Discord. First and foremost, don't take shortcuts. Do your research, follow your gut. Bordy NFT says ask as many questions as possible. There's no such thing as a silly question. Isabella, participate, don't speculate. Why did we not have her in our writing session?
No, it says don't spectate.
What?
What the hell?
Participate, don't spectate. Isn't that what I said?
You said speculate, and I'm speculating
Same
on
thing,
you right
whatever. Same difference. The point is, to Eric Gray's point, is just spend time in the community before you buy in. And I think this goes back to the original idea of like, there's FOMO, there's panic, but getting involved in the community that you're about to buy into, there is nothing you're going to lose from that. You're going to get a vibe of like, if the creators are involved, if you want to spend time with these people, if this is your jam, I mean, like, get involved. There's less to resolve.
If you get shit on for asking a question, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just the way the community responds to a question you might have in a general chat is going to tell you everything you need to know. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say this. Mr. Marlin in our Discord, Hype Bears, I'm not going to read the whole thing. He left a long paragraph, but he starts with, don't think you could do it all alone. You need a community to help you get in early projects, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He also talks about wallets, but I just wanted to acknowledge him taking the time to write such an awesome comment. And then we're going to move on to number 6.
I'll do the
I ain't got no more tricks. And sleep mode or overload. Sleep mode or overload. So that was awful load. Okay, so basically, sleep mode is another way of saying turn off your notifications.
Praise the Lord.
You don't want, like, you're already sick and tired of your Facebook and Slack and email notifications. You do not want all these Discord and other notifications. So Kyle Wright says, just avoid Discord entirely until you're no longer a newbie. Too much trouble there, and Twitter has plenty of network and resources to get you started. All right, Monica says turn off your DMs. Snakesfeet.eth says Discord DMs are a scam. So Heather actually is the one who schooled me up on this when we were doing our Discord thing, because I had like a zillion DMs, and you're like, turn them off. I'm like, I could do
you
that.
Can do all that.
And then I did it. And then my life is a lot better ever since then.
Sometimes people, I was doing this before the NFT space. I have very few notifications turned on my phone. I don't have a ton of apps. I'm very minimalistic with it. And there is this fear and panic that, oh my God, I'm going to miss something. But I always have to ask myself, miss what? What am I afraid of right now? And we've had so many people in our community say that I'm staying up all night long. I'm afraid I'm going to miss this or that. And we covered it a little bit on Don't Buy NFTs, which was our controversial episode that we just published. But there's, to Rich's point, he said in it, we have to look at like the input versus output. Like, what are we putting in and what are we getting out of it? And are we questioning that a little bit? If you're not sleeping and you're struggling mentally and you're losing all your money, is it really worth it? Like, we need to just press pause a little bit. So notifications for me, I don't really look at my phone past a certain time at night. I know you don't, Rich. We have some strong boundaries up with that. Yep.
Y'all?
Oh, wait, I need a beat though.
Yo, turn up her headphones.
Inspect what you expect. What up, y'all? You're welcome. You are so freaking welcome. This comes from Discord at NFT Trek. It says, before you pull the trigger on any purchase minting, be sure all of your verifications, does that say KYC? I don't know what that means. KYCs, deposit holds, transfer holds, and accepted wallets are all set up and functioning. Avoid missing an opportunity because you froze up somewhere for 2 more days. This actually happened to Brian, my husband, about a week ago. There was some drop that he was trying to be in on, and he actually, it's like one of those things where you have to wait your turn, and he got the opportunity to buy, but for some reason he didn't double check the amount of money that he had in his wallet or whatever. And when he went to go buy more of the money or get it, his spot in line was gone. And so he missed out on that mint. So that's what at NFT Trek is saying here. Inspect before you expect. Make sure your crap is working.
No, inspect what you expect.
I have a really hard time reading.
I put that because it's a military term. So we'd get all our gear and we'd go out on our hike. Like, you can't just expect your team has the right gear and that they have extra socks for the hike and all the gear they need. Like, you inspect what you expect, right? And you do that for yourself. So if we were going to go hike 20 miles, after the first 2 minutes, we would stop and just do a gear check, right? Is everything all right? Are we good? But that's a huge one. So number 5. So NFT Trek, thank you for that one.
Why don't you just say double check?
If you don't verify all that,
that's way easier. Double check, not inspect what you expect. That's a tongue twister. Rhyme.
And you're out of time because I'm moving on to number 4. No depreciation with appreciation. right? So there's no depreciation if you appreciate what you're buying. Georgina, buy NFTs that you actually enjoy looking at. Derek Coy, this is the ones from Twitter. Pace yourself, connect with people, and learn from them. Go after projects you believe in and not just what others say is good. So if you appreciate it, you are not going to be worried about what you spent or what the floor price is. This is a good thing. But I have art from D. Klein. I don't know if his stuff's ever going to blow up, but it's really good freaking art, man. Like exceptional art. And I'm so proud to have it in my wallet. Okay. Like I've never looked at how it's doing or anything like that, but it cannot depreciate in my eyes. You know why? Because I was one of my first NFTs. We're now friends with him. We've had him on the show and the art's fucking good. So like, it's not going to depreciate.
This goes to number 3, plant the seed and let it be. What? Pretty much what we're saying here at SamZitto01 over on Twitter said, read up and ask around on wallet security tips, security, and don't share details on something that seems sketchy. At Matthew Sims 11 says something similar. Never share your seed phrase. So number 3, plant the seed and let it be. What we're talking about here is keep your stuff secure. Don't be giving away your secret seed phrase. It's called secret for a reason. Those series of words that you get when you set up your wallet, don't trust people with that information. There's never a reason. We've covered this before. Why anyone would ever ask you of that. Make sure you are connecting with sites that are, what's the word we just used? Official websites. There are a lot of people out there trying to scam. And unfortunately, we've heard a lot of stories. So just be smart, y'all.
I do think we need to make an episode on this. So, like, you got to share it with someone because what if something happens?
Well, like your partner who you've birthed babies with, maybe, but no one else.
I have our seed phrase.
Well, we've birthed this podcast together, so I mean, we're tight like that.
Oh, damn! Hit him with it. All right, number 2, the hype ain't always
Sometimes
right.
it is.
Clary
Sometimes
G.
it is.
Sometimes it is, but Clary G says go for utility quality over hype. Marcus at Marcus Matil says patience, and then Maddie at Skystacks says learning to understand NFTs and what they mean for the future is more valuable than any monies you think you'll be making trading and collecting them. So look, we talked about appreciating it. Now we're talking about utility, talking about how you feel about the community. We're talking about how you feel about the founders. If you have a system that you enjoy, then stick with that. But don't let the Twitter machine and influencers, even people who you really, really respect, don't let that be the reason you're just jumping on something. And let me just give you one little example. So Tom Bilyeu's founders keys, I had already been in Impact Theory University. I had already, been involved and talked to a lot of people in that community well before like there was any NFT drops. I thought they were a little bit pricey at first. I got in when it was a little bit lower, but yes, it was certainly hyped, but I already knew what was going on. If I didn't know anything about Tom Bilyeu and I just went and got a founder's key because people were saying it and he was hyping it up or other people were hyping it up, that's probably the wrong reason. So just know that it's not always going to work out and the hype is not always right.
Number 1, this is it. I'm super sad because I'm really feeling my rapping vibe, but here we go. Snitches don't get stitches. Share our podcast and listen. That's not a bird. At Ben's the Spaceman says, don't listen to me. I don't know squat. Thanks for the podcast, y'all. Been absorbing so much. At Silver's Mars said, listen to the NFT podcast. And at Grammy FW over on Discord. My advice to any NFT newbie is to listen to your podcast. You and Rich usually answer all the questions a newbie would have. And this is the reason why, family, because we are newbies ourselves. So we know the questions to ask because we're asking many of them on our own journey. We hope you enjoyed our top 10 tips from you guys. We do have one more question though left, but do you have anything else? Hit you up. This comes from at Diane C. Beauty. She asks, would you rather have the ability to understand everything you read or ability to heal anyone's mind and body?
Heal anyone's mind and body?
Yes, you can either understand everything you read or the ability to heal anyone's mind and body.
Hold on. Any one mind and body? No, like one person?
Oh my God, this is stressing me out. This is not that hard. Listen, you can understand everything you read or the ability to heal anyone's mind and body. So I come to you and my head hurts and you're like, boom, you're healed.
I get that, but you can do it for multiple people is what you're saying?
Anyone.
The latter.
Yeah, I know, because you can't say
would,
the other one because then you'd feel horrible.
your brain would just be like a supercomputer and you could do a lot more things and you could figure out other ways to have impact.
You could, but there are some things we don't have the answer to, like being able to heal certain diseases. So you could never read enough to know that. I think you chose wisely.
Well, people would kill you if you didn't help them in time because they knew you could do that. So I wouldn't want it. You'd be too much of a celebrity. You'd be too valuable.
You would be. And you know what else is valuable? Our community. Thank you so much for sharing your tips, for listening to this show. If you haven't done so yet, connect with us over on Discord, Twitter. We put out polls like this all the time, and we'll be including more of your responses in future episodes. See y'all soon.